Namaste, and you're tuned into CNN News 18. And this evening on The Nation at 5, we continue with our promise of 100 hours non-stop coverage of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his many engagements in the United States of America. Ambassador Prabhu Dayal and Sreeram Chaulia, Foreign Affairs expert, and Professor Dean, Jindal School of International Affairs, with us this evening on the broadcast. Namaste to both of you gentlemen. One of the concerns, Sreeram Chaulia, is that India can't look to project itself as if it can't handle this mess in the region. We also have to go and tell the Americans we can sort this out. But how do we sort the issues between us? Is that going to be a tone that the Prime Minister can adopt or must adopt?
I think Anand, definitely we are capable of securing our own borders. If they try to start another, uprising in the valley or mass infiltration across from POK, we can hit them back hard. But the prospect of terror attacks, within India, internal security is a challenge. And there we do need intelligence sharing and inputs, because Americans have very sophisticated eavesdropping techniques and also HUMINT to be able to transfer to us to avert such situations and to respond to them in a timely way and proactively. As far as the broader regional security issues are concerned, definitely China is the glue that binds India and the US, and there's no two ways of looking at it. So while Quad will focus on China, even bilaterally, I think India-US now we have become, we have signed all the foundational defense agreements, and the interoperability of the two militaries is at an all-time high. And although the US has disappointed us in Afghanistan, we do believe that they will remain in the Pacific. So they are not going to abandon the Indo-Pacific, because that is the last bastion for US power to stop the global order from shifting hands into Chinese control. Right. So while they are quitting from Central Asia, South Asia, and parts of the Middle East, I think we can expect the US to remain a resident power in the Pacific for a long time to come, because the geopolitical global balance is there and it's hinging there. So I think that is where I think Biden values India, and Biden has to look at India as a long-term player. He's been talking about long-term competition with China, and there obviously we will figure out as a major player. And as far as the bilateral, there are other issues. The trade dispute still needs to be resolved. I'm sure they're going to talk about it. It's not as hot as during Trump's time, because Biden is not insisting so much on, as a trade hawk about exports and imports and the trade deficit and such things. And technology and such things, of course, again, there is an overlap between the bilateral and the actual Quad. But right. US-India is the main pillar, without that, I don't think even the Quad can sustain itself. And I'm sure PM will also raise the matter of the AUKUS and how it has, in a way, muddied the waters in the Indo-Pacific, and how we want the US to be a team player.
We'll talk Quad and AUKUS in just a bit. Sreeram Chaulia, would you agree if you were to say it's good that Quad and AUKUS are separate, but these entities are happening? Because there is also JFI, Japan, France, and India.
Yeah, this is what we call variable geometry, Anand. We are doing bilaterals, trilaterals, quadrilaterals, and even Quad Plus. We have done exercises with France. Unfortunately, now they have been jeopardized by Biden's, rather unilateral turn now. But nonetheless, I think you're right that on various points of alignment, we are looking to do greater military interoperability with many countries. And so Quad is one means. AUKUS, the thing is, if they have nuclear-powered submarines ultimately, and that helps in establishing military deterrence in the Western Pacific and holds the Chinese PLA Navy from prowling closer and closer to our backyard in the Indian Ocean, that's also okay. The only thing we don't want are divisions, we don't want multiple camps operating here in the Indo-Pacific at cross purposes. I think that's why Prime Minister believes that we should be a bridge builder between France on one side and Australia and the US. And we hope that ultimately this rift will be healed. And, even with Quad, our Navy is being more and more proactive in defense diplomacy. We are doing lots of trilaterals with Southeast Asian countries like Vietnam, Indonesia, Singapore, Thailand. We are doing also various other permutations and combinations. India is actually showing its willingness to push back the PLA Navy. from what is our area where we want, sea control, which is our naval doctrine. So I think we are not shying away from military counterbalancing. I think it's
Right.
just that not everybody is on the same page, and because of U.S. commercial motivations, they have gone in a different direction right now. But ultimately, we would want a grand coalition. I think if there is no militarization of Quad or Quad Plus, then we are left with no real teeth to be able to roll back the Chinese juggernaut.
Correct. That's also true.